The pandemic has thrust work-life balance into the spotlight. Could one solution be a shorter work week with no pay cuts? Let's head to one country that's already experimenting with that, Iceland. Iceland started trialing shorter working hours back in 2015. It ran 2 studies, slashing the work week by 3 to 5 hours with no pay cuts. Well-being dramatically increased and productivity stayed the same. Arna was one of the first to trial shorter hours. She now finishes work at noon every Friday.
On Friday I will go into the university, or when it's not school I can cycling or hiking and have more time for myself. It has helped me to spend more time with my children and experience less stress. The public health benefit is that our well-being is much better.
Arna's boss says working less hours has motivated employees to work harder.
Þetta ekkert alveg einfalt. Við styttum fundi og við þurfum að vera svona skipulagðari. Það hefur auðvelda mér að það styttri vinnuvika. Starfsfólki ánægðara og það skiptir miklu máli fyrir mig sem stjórnanda.
And it's not just Iceland. Jobs website ZipRecruiter says the number of job postings that mention a 4-day week has tripled in the past 3 years.
Now, a century after the invention of the weekend, more companies are adding another day. One of those companies giving employees Friday off is Berlin-based tech firm Awin.
Our fundamental belief is that happy, engaged employees that have a healthy work-life balance will produce more, will be more loyal to the company. You know, it's a huge benefit to the company and a great tool to aid retention and for hiring. We operate in some of the most competitive employment markets in the world. So this is one of the critical tools in our arsenal.
In the US, Kickstarter will start a trial next year. Unilever is doing one already in New Zealand. Parliament in Spain has been considering subsidizing companies in the Spanish economy to test a 40 work week. Even in Japan, which has a word for death from overwork, we have seen the parliament considering, supporting 40 work weeks with a government-sponsored subsidy.
Checkin is a remote working software company headquartered in Sweden. After it implemented a 4-day week, productivity increased.
When it comes to measurable KPIs, we have seen a 12% increase in productivity. And on the things where we cannot measure, our feeling, our sort of qualitative feeling is that we are more innovative, more positive, more creative company than ever before. We see less sick days, we see less churn of good employees.
Of course, it might be easier to implement a shorter work week in some industries than in others.
Yeah, one major downside to the 4-day work week, of course, is that it requires major changes at a company. Anything from changing contracts to changing the way the week is set up in a company, to the way customer requests are handled. The tech and startup industry that is used to trialing new things and used to changing the way work has been done over the past decade is more likely to be open to such a model. I think it's a bit more difficult for large conglomerates that have set corporate structures in place and that have done things the same way for decades. The change can come from anywhere as long as the CEO or the company leadership is willing to try new things.
It's been a win-win in Iceland. People say their work-life balance has improved and companies have seen the benefits too. So is this a trend that could take off in other parts of the world?